Topic 9. Growth Strategy. Growth strategy is the systematic approach organizations use to achieve sustainable expansion in revenue, profitability, market share, enterprise value, and long-term competitive advantage. It defines how a company will create future value through market expansion, innovation, digital transformation, strategic partnerships, mergers and acquisitions, operational excellence, or new business models. For modern chief financial officers, CFOs, growth strategy extends far beyond budgeting and forecasting. It involves strategic capital allocation, investment evaluation, portfolio management, and balancing growth opportunities with financial discipline and risk management. Leading CFO programs emphasize that finance leaders are increasingly responsible for shaping enterprise growth strategies that create sustainable shareholder value while maintaining organizational resilience. Growth is a fundamental objective for most organizations because it enhances economies of scale, increases market influence, strengthens competitive positioning, attracts investment capital, and supports long-term profitability. However, sustainable growth requires disciplined strategic planning rather than expansion for its own sake. Modern CFOs work closely with CEOs and executive leadership teams to ensure that growth initiatives generate returns exceeding the organization's cost of capital and align with long-term strategic objectives rather than short-term revenue targets. One of the most widely used frameworks for growth strategy is the Ansoff Growth Matrix, which identifies 4 primary growth pathways: market penetration, market development, product development, and diversification. Market penetration focuses on increasing sales within existing markets through improved marketing, pricing, customer retention, and operational efficiency. Market development expands existing products into new geographic regions or customer segments. Product development introduces new products or services to existing customers, while diversification creates entirely new products for new markets, typically involving higher strategic risk, but potentially greater long-term returns. Organizations pursue growth through both organic growth and inorganic growth. Organic growth is generated internally through increased sales, innovation, digital transformation, operational improvements, customer acquisition, and market expansion. Inorganic growth occurs through mergers, acquisitions, strategic alliances, joint ventures, and investments that accelerate capability development or market entry. CFOs play central roles in evaluating acquisition opportunities, performing due diligence, structuring financing arrangements, and measuring post-acquisition value creation through synergy realization and integration success. Digital transformation has fundamentally reshaped growth strategies across industries. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing, data analytics, automation, platform ecosystems, and digital customer engagement create opportunities for scalable growth while reducing marginal operating costs. Organizations increasingly pursue digital business models that generate recurring revenue streams, leverage network effects, monetize data assets, and create personalized customer experiences. Finance leaders evaluate digital investments not only through traditional financial metrics, but also through strategic capability development, innovation potential, and long-term competitive positioning. An effective growth strategy requires careful capital allocation. Financial resources are limited, requiring organizations to prioritize investments that generate the greatest long-term value. CFOs evaluate growth opportunities using metrics such as net present value (NPV), internal rate of return (IRR), return on invested capital (ROIC), economic value added (EVA), and total shareholder return (TSR. Increasingly, investment decisions also incorporate non-financial considerations, including customer lifetime value, digital maturity, innovation capability, environmental sustainability, and organizational resilience. Growth strategy must also balance risk and opportunity. Rapid expansion can strain organizational capabilities, increase financial leverage, create operational complexity, and expose firms to market uncertainty. Effective finance leaders therefore integrate scenario planning, sensitivity analysis, stress testing, and enterprise risk management into strategic growth decisions. Maintaining sufficient liquidity, diversified funding sources, and financial flexibility enables organizations to pursue growth opportunities while preserving resilience during economic downturns or market disruptions. customer-centric innovation has become a major driver of sustainable growth. Organizations increasingly leverage advanced analytics, artificial intelligence, and customer data platforms to better understand customer behavior, personalize offerings, improve retention, and identify emerging market opportunities. Finance leaders collaborate with marketing, operations, and technology teams to evaluate investments that strengthen customer relationships while improving profitability and long-term enterprise value. Globalization and ecosystem collaboration further expand growth opportunities. Strategic partnerships, digital platforms, supplier ecosystems, fintech alliances, and technology collaborations allow organizations to access new capabilities, markets, and customer segments without fully internalizing all investments. CFOs assess partnership economics, governance structures, risk-sharing arrangements, and long-term financial implications to ensure ecosystem participation supports strategic objectives. Successful growth strategies also depend on organizational capabilities, including talent development, leadership, innovation culture, operational excellence, digital infrastructure, and performance management systems. Strategic execution requires alignment between corporate objectives, capital allocation, incentive structures, and measurable key performance indicators that monitor progress while enabling agile adaptation to changing market conditions. The Global Competency Framework identifies strategy, business models, planning, capital investment evaluation, macroeconomic analysis, market understanding, and business ecosystem management as critical competencies for executive finance professionals.